one.
The backstory.
I'm going to skip that. It's so millennial.
I was like, this was written by a millennial.
This is like millennial circa, 10 years ago?
Less story.
Yeah. Ugh, I get it now. I get it. I'm sorry to all the Gen Z who I've come after and been like, why do you hate us so much? Here we are. Story 1, Wolfman. Le backstory.
No, don't say it.
Backstory. My friend and I had a band together when we were young, about 15 or 16 years old. His dad works at a low-income housing authority, a place where a lot of the nearly unemployable people live because, well, they're batshit insane.
Okay.
All right. In the fall, this place would sell baked goods and pumpkins for picking, turn a patio into a haunted house by setting up curtains. It was a tiny thing, but pitch dark inside and had a bunch of creepy Halloween stuff. In this little hut, a couple bands would play, us included. The festivities were open to the public. The story. My friend and I, and a third kid we were friends with, were chilling around the general area, scaring kids in the haunted house. We helped set everything up. Eventually, my dad tells us that there's someone who wants to help with the haunted house. Okay, cool, whatever. Let's go see what this kid wants. We approach the haunted house and see a short, fat man with long, black, greasy hair, a neck beard, and a lazy eye. He had a bag with him and spoke in sort of a nasally voice. He introduced himself. I honestly don't remember what his name was. We've just always referred to him as the Wolfman. And he showed us the contents of his bag. He had a mask, a cape, a fake sword, basically a little creepy getup. Okay. He explained that he wanted to help with the haunted house. What makes the story even creepier is how properly he spoke. Like, this kind of person was way too into medieval lore as a teenager. You're sounding judgy. It sounds like a milady.
Yeah.
My friends and I decided...
It sounds like a milady. You sound judgy. It sounds like a milady.
But yeah.
Being judgy.
My friend decided to man the door to the haunted house to let kids in. They sent me in with the Wolfman. He took one corner of the haunted house and I took the other. He gave me specific instructions on what to say to the kids that came through. Something along the lines of, "Turn back, mortals. Oh, oh, oh." I'm not a very good actor, so he would repeatedly harass me about how weak my performance was and beseech me to be more convincing.
Beseech me.
Are you a milady?
Yeah, right. Why are you complaining about how he talks?
Their band was actually jazz band.
Really bad, too.
When the kids would walk past me to get to him, he would turn on a strobe light and scream in a deep, bellowing voice things like, "Foolish mortals, you have reached hell, and now your souls will be mine." He made several small children cry. After maybe 20 or 30 minutes alone inside this hut with this crazy murder guy, I decided to ditch him and see what the fuck my friends were doing. As it turns out, they had found a gator riding cart and just started driving around without me. Rude. Wolfman noticed my absence and came to seek us out. He caught up with us and basically tried to make friends with us. His namesake came from when he asked us if we liked werewolves and explained that he's written a series of novels in which werewolves aren't the bad guys, as they always seem to be made out in the media. He asked if we'd be interested in reading them. Throughout all this, we're just walking around the festival area trying like hell to ditch this guy. We sat down to watch an acoustic guitarist perform, and he sat next to us. There's a small audience for the performer, and Wolfman insisted on getting on stage with the guitarist and singing Eye of the Tiger, of which he only knew the first verse and the chorus. He eventually left the festival after a while, and we began driving the gator. But he came back, and I'll never forget sitting in the back of the gator, yelling at my friend to gun it because we had made eye contact with Wolfman. Later that day, my friends had explained that he talked to the guy. We asked him to because we were pretty fucking freaked out. Apparently, he explained that he was thinking of purchasing some pumpkins and perhaps asked some young men he met to help them carry them back to his house on the road. That's when his dad kicked him out. I do think maybe the guy was just a little
little off.
I imagine Zach Galifianakis this entire...
Yeah, this entire time I'm like, there's just this weird guy who really wants to make friends.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know how.
No, he's like, you guys like werewolves? You want to read my novel?
Yeah, you guys like werewolves? I agree, wolves are always portrayed negatively in media. I love wolves. But
how's the Red Riding Hood book going?
It was good.
Big bad wolf.
I finished it, yeah.
Big bad wolf.
Yeah, it wasn't all that I was wanting.
Yeah.
So I need to seek out another. Mm-hmm. But I did get the second book to the Hades and Persephone book that I was reading not too long ago. Finally, It came up on my Hold on Libby. And the narrator for it is a guy that sounds like he is reading off a proctor at a doctor's office.
Don't like that.
Yeah, it's really, really unfortunate because I don't want to listen to it.
No.
I was listening and I was like... So.
And then he took his big throbbing... So yeah, I don't know. It just sounds like a guy who doesn't know how to make friends.
And he didn't do anything weird in the haunted house. I think the only thing that he did in the haunted house was just
scare children.
Act and do what you're supposed to do in a haunted house. Okay, do you want to hear a story about a weird wolf guy I worked with at a haunted house?
What if I said no? Like, obviously yes, but like, what if I was like, no? Anyway.
So... I was like 16.
Okay.
Well, preface there. The guy was like 25, 26, 27, 28.
I already don't like where this is going.
Somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
So I worked at this haunted house when I was younger in high school. And everybody there is... they're a little quirky. It's like any haunted house you go to, there's a very specific type of person that works in a haunted house.
Yeah. Which
I can't say anything because I did for multiple years.
In case you're wondering what that person looks like.
Ding. Yeah, I do have one. There you go. There's a picture of me right here. But there was this guy who always wore this like half wolf mask and then would like paint the bottom part of his face.
Okay.
But he had been working at this haunted house for like years, a very long time.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend also worked there, and they had been together and were like engaged for a very long time.
Gotcha.
And then I was there. I had my little group of friends.
Yeah.
And he would always come up and try to like mingle with our friends. Like all the time. And it was always like, hey. So, flash forward, him and his girlfriend break up, and he was like, came up to me at work one night, like while I was alone in a room, came up to me, like had to go through the whole haunted house to find me.
Yeah. And
he was like, do you want to go on a date? And I was like, sure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm young. I was like, he's kind of attractive, Yeah. Like, I'm not thinking like, oh, that person's
16.
Like,
you're not
like 10 years older than me. But he picked me up from my house, and I was living with my friends, so it wasn't my house, but he picked me up from my house, and he was like in this like shitty little beat up car, and I got in, and I had to move boxes of McDonald's out from my feet when I got into the car.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, cool, hey, it reeks like cigarettes, and I'm just sitting there. My body is turned towards the door, already uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, well, where do you want to go to dinner? And I was like, I don't know. And he said, how about Wendy's? I said, okay. Texted my friend. I said, where are you?
Yeah.
And they texted me back and they were like, oh, all of us are at IHOP. And I was like, I'm coming. Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was like, do you think we could go hang out with my friends at IHOP? And he was like, yeah. So he took us through the drive-thru of Wendy's.
Yeah.
He kept looking at me. He's like, you want anything? I'm like, no, dog. I'm so good. Thank you.
So good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was texting them, and I was like, all right, can you guys pay? Like, be ready to leave. So we pulled up to the IHOP, and I got out. power walked in that bitch. I was
Yeah.
not even waiting for him. I was like, give me out. I walk inside and I look at all my friends. I was like, get me the fuck out of this. And I sit down and I was just like, like laughing.
God.
And I see him walk in and come over to the table. And he was like, oh, hey, like, nice to meet you guys. Because it's a different friend group.
Yeah.
And they all were like, we're actually just like, they saw him and they were like, oh, no.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're actually just leaving. So, yeah, I pretty much got up and left with them.
Work again?
No, see, the thing that worked out so well was, like, at the end of the season. Because I did not see him again after that.
That's good.
So, and then I didn't work there again. So.
Yeah.
So.
Ew.
But I thought about, like, going to the stage manager. If I was, like, planning on working there the next year, I plan on going to her and, like, asking to be kept out of his section.
Yeah, fair.
So, but I didn't. I would go back and I'd, like, visit and I would see everybody else. But I don't remember seeing him, so. Yeah.
I just don't. As someone who's been both 18 and 28, I don't get looking at someone who's that much younger and being like
16 too.
Yeah,
Like
16?
yeah,
Yeah, no.
literally like I am a child. I'm a child.
Yep.
So-
I don't.
Yeah.
Shout out to your friends.
Yeah, truly.
But even then, I still don't like anything that he did. Like, where do you want to go? Oh, excuse all my
Wendy's,
McDonald's
yeah.
boxes. You want to go to Wendy's?
On a date.
Yeah.
Literally to a Wendy's. Yeah, no.
Well, Wendy's is obviously the classier option. McDonald's is every day.
Yeah, yeah, that's so true. I actually would feel like Whataburger is like the top, like that's the
I would go for that, yeah.
that's the black tie option.
I haven't had one of those in so long.
I love Whataburger.
Yeah.
I think my Wolfman story is scarier, to be honest.
I would say yours is scarier, because no, this just sounded like, and then it just sounds like a guy who had no friends at this thing,
Yeah.
wanted to spook some kids.
He sounds like he takes the haunted house really seriously, which again,
Yeah.
it goes back to there's only one type of person who works on a haunted house.
So, yeah. I wonder if he knows the girl from the last episode who's like, no one will read my novels.
Oh my god. They're all werewolf smut. That's why nobody wants to read them, because it's about her traumatic parents' divorce, but they're all werewolves and they're all fucking.
Yeah, they're like, I don't want to read that, man.
Yeah. I started this series. I did not get anywhere in it because I got really bored of it really fast. Mm-hmm. But there was a series by Patricia Briggs.
Okay.
And it's a werewolf series, but it follows this woman. She's really hot. So I started these books.
Okay.
But I got really bored, and I don't know if it was because I didn't like because the story was interesting, but it was like I don't think I liked the audiobook narrator.
Honestly, a narrator could be make or break.
Yeah. That's what I started reading, and so I kind of thought about that too.
Yeah.
Why do they call him Wolfman?
Because he brought up, he's like, do you want to read my novels about
Well, they said they call
werewolves?
him Wolfman before, right? Long, black, greasy hair, a neck beard, and a lazy eye.
I'm sorry, not everyone's beautiful. And people have interests like werewolves.
Yeah. Just let him live.
Let him scare the children.
Yeah.
If you're letting your child go into a haunted house, you know they might cry. So
Yeah.
I think he's probably doing his job pretty good.
He is literally doing what he's supposed to. I think you guys need to.
Yeah, calm your shit.
God knows what happened to those poor pumpkins.
Wait, what the fuck?
This person says, he seems perfectly harmless, if lonely to me. Downvote me if you will, but I saw nothing creepy. Well, except for making kids cry. And OP was stuck in this.
You weren't like stuck in there though.
No,
you could
but,
have left.
but the thing is that they were alone with this guy in the haunted house for so long and nothing happened.
Yeah.
Not a single, besides him being like, hey, you're not that good of an actor, which honestly, slay.
Yeah.
Like, I love that he was like, you suck. get it together. If you're going to be an actor, if you're going to make it in Hollywood, you need to get your shit together. And you're not doing... I really need you to bring on the fear.
This is going to ruin the tour. You need to get it together.
Yeah. He could have really, like, put you through something to make you channel that fear.
He could have. You could have come out quite a bit more traumatized.
But you didn't. And you know why? Because that guy just wanted to hang out. He just wanted a good time.
Honestly, you might just, like... Yeah, you're just mean.
You're just mean.
I've never claimed to be honestly that nice, but you are mean. Because they commented, also, now I work at a grocery store a block from the site of this incident. Wolfman comes in sometimes, being generally greasy and neckbeardy. He rides on one of those fat person scooters the store provides. I'm pretty certain he has no idea who I am, but when he comes through, I just stare at him. And someone's like, this is actually really creepy. I was like, no, it's not. It's just a guy at the grocery store. Like, calm your shit.
That is so mean. Greasy and neckbeardy. Okay.
To be fair, take a shower, shave the neckbeard. I don't like any of those things no matter what.
Yeah.
But if you have them, I'm not going to shit on you
on
Reddit and be like, what a creep because you have a neckbeard. I'm like, okay, so like maybe you could...
When we...
I feel like they've done other weird things. It's not the neckbeard.
My laugh just then was like...
Your scream?
No, I was thinking of that clip of that girl who's like, I'm not racist, but... yeah.
Not to be racist or anything, but Asian people...
That's what my laugh just sounded like.
Yeah. I feel like when we're judgy in these Reddit stories, it's because this person's like, oh yeah, show me your tits at a bus stop, you know?
Yeah.
And then they're also
like,
neckbeardy and weird.
Yeah.
They're not like, I'm going to scare some kids at a haunted house.
And you guys are going to make fun of me because I'm greasy and I don't have hygiene skills.
Try to make friends with the person I've been standing in a room with for 20 minutes.
Yeah, that poor guy.
Yeah.
He literally, like, has no friends. He's got a lazy eye and stuff. It's probably hard.
He already has it hard enough.
Yeah.
You don't need to be mean to him, too. Be mean to the people that deserve it.
And there's no reason to call him yes.
Yeah.
I immediately toned in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, be mean to people who are on cults. Like,
yeah, this guy, there's no reason to call him Wolfman either, unless he likes that.
He might.
I would like to be called Meemaw and Wolfman.
What?
I was saying two nights ago when I was getting on Faz after we recorded last time, I was like we were talking about something and I was like, Meemaw is the best grandma name. I think that's like a killer grandma name.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really sad that I'll never be able to get called it though. And then Katie and Sarah were like, we'll call you Meemaw. I was like, wow, that's true friendship. Everyone just starts calling me Meemaw, so I get to be called Meemaw.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the What Was That podcast. I'm Jazzy and this is Meemaw.
I'm Meemaw.
I'm Meemaw.
Hey, Meemaw.
Cute.
If you enjoyed that little story, be sure to watch the full episode here.
And make sure you like, subscribe, and all that jazzy.
Jazzy? I see what you did there. Wait, what was that?